Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag. So we bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner's pies, and we've all come to look for America. Kathy, I said as we boarded the Greyhound in Pittsburgh. Come on, Chappie. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. Welcome, everybody. My dog is concerned and keeps tilting his head. Champy, they want to hear you sing. The other doggies are confused. Where did that doggy go? Champy, A minor? Want to hear an A minor? No, he's distracted. Champy, you done? He's done. Sometimes. Champy, sing. He's done. There ain't no singing from that dog no more. Done, done, done. All right, whatever. Whatever, dog. He gets no chicken strips tonight. He's not earning nothing, but I guess yesterday was the full moon, right? Got my full moon shirt on. Everything's good. Welcome, everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. You know what we learn here? Neither do I. We'll talk about some AI stuff. I've been a little soapboxy lately, but you know, sometimes you get that. The hair's looking a little janky, but what are you going to do? Janky, janky, janky. All right, so how this works in here is if you have any questions about AI, thoughts on it, fears, resentments, you can come here. You can clear your resentments about AI. I will help you process them. Oh, man. It's kooky. It's been a kooky week. Been a kooky week. What are we drinking tonight? We have Java, not Blanton's, and Waterloo Blackberry Lemonade Seltzer. Whatever. It's just water. It's water. It's water. Water. It's tap water with bubbles in it. I think this lovely image is from Danielle. Is that right? Yes. Thank you, Danielle, for that lovely image. The AI Learning Lab. Had my Kevin McAllister moment. Kieran, tell me. Do tell. What was it? What was your Kevin McAllister moment? So, by the way, if you don't know, it is my hope and dream that every one of you that comes in here and hangs out for even a little bit try generative AI, something like ChatGPT, long enough that you have your first Kevin McAllister moment, which is that one. Ideally, you have it while you're here. We're having fun. Yeah, but I'm curious what it was, Kieran. I always love hearing those. Looks like Emilio's wife was on time tonight. Is that 2 nights in a row? She was on time for class? Good Lord. Will wonders never cease? I guess Champy's done. I guess we can all go now. Exactly. Coming at you from my tent deep in the pine forest of East Texas. Source Camp, where the hell are you? You're just driving around the country, sleeping in campgrounds? Am I bugging your camping neighbors? the dog howling and me cackling? When I told ChatGPT to make a recipe and it made it in a chart. Oh, it made in a chart and cook time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what else you could do, Kieran? If you've got ChatGPT 4, not only do that recipe, but tell it to make you a photograph of the finished dish. That's how Sin City Sipper works. It's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, I know. If you start using this stuff for a while, you kind of take for granted that we now have a tool in our hands. I miss Champ. I'm leaving. Oh, Joker. I got to tell you, Champ was... I have a feeling he was out late partying last night. He doesn't want to admit it, but he just didn't have the energy he normally does, so he didn't miss much. Which program did they do that picture in? I don't know. Danielle, I assume that's DALL-E, right? But it looks a little jankier than DALL-E. That could be one of the SDXL Turbo things. It looks like SDXL Turbo jankiness to me. But it's one of those. It's definitely not Midjourney. Oh, janky Gemini. Oh, that was done in Gemini, which they've decommissioned the Gemini image generation engine, at least for people, because it was overcorrecting for bias. If you didn't hear about that, so apparently Google wanted to make sure that their model wasn't biased, right? And so they over-indexed for political correctness. So if you asked for things like, the founding fathers of America, it looked more like the musical Hamilton than the actual people that were there. So yeah, apparently they've shut that down for a bit. I wowed my mother-in-law, took a pic of food in her cupboard and asked for a recipe. Kevin McAllister moment for her. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just nuts. We have these friggin' tools that are just a little mind-bending. It's kind of like, when search engines first came out, when Alta Vista, you had the early days of search. You had Yahoo, which was a directory where it was like human beings were categorizing all the sites on the internet. And that made sense before you kind of had this idea that you could index the whole of the internet, right? Like that wasn't really, you sort of thought, and then a couple of search engines came out. Alta Vista kind of nailed it. And then you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then Google, took it even farther. And it was fast and it was accurate. And you were just like, how is it possible you can find anything on the internet? And we're in a similar place right now. Like, how is it possible you have, some large percent of the knowledge of humanity just at your fingertips? It's cuckoo. It's cuckoo. I know you heard that, Emilio's wife. I said you were here on time. Source Camp is indeed annoying her camping neighbors. That's good. Oh, man. That's cuckoo. Oh, I had some work to do today. I had to make some postcards for the missus has an art show coming up. I was doing a little desktop publishing. back to my roots. Woo! And I didn't have AI do it. I did it the old-fashioned way. It took hours and it sucked. I just don't have the attention span or patience. Like, I never had the attention span, but I used to have the patience. Let me see her art. Okay, so hang on, let me go find it. There it is. Isn't that cool? And we wrote where is that? Let's see. No, that's not it. Here we go. Grids of Disquiet captures the angst we feel as we navigate the thin line between order and disorder. The calm we seek is hidden beneath layers of chaos and veils of quiet as we choose between what we show and what we conceal. This universal internal struggle is captured in grids of abstract snapshots in the midst of the grit of life. And that's it. Isn't that cool? So that is going to be, when does it open? On Santa Fe Drive on March 14th it opens, or 15th, whatever the Friday is. 14th, I think it's the 15th. I have a card that I made today. It opens March 15th. Yeah, the odds of March. So, cool, huh? All right, people, what do you want to do tonight? It's Sunday night. Happy Sunday night. Let's figure out what's happening. How did you make the gold button?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
I didn't make it. It was forged out of solid gold. I definitely didn't buy it on Amazon. It definitely wasn't made in China. It's solid gold.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
I earned it with all the money I've made with ChatGPT. But I'll never tell. 3720 unread emails. Oh my. Oh, that's light. That's just my important emails. The total number of unread emails is let's see. 123 25,888. Oh, those are in cent. Yeah, important ones, I got 3,700. Total, 150,334. Here's my deal. Here's my philosophy with fucking email. Is inbox zero's stupid. That concept is stupid. And if I miss something and it's important, either Google will remind me about it or the person that sent it to me will remind me about it. It's Sunday night date night, just like Friday, but it's Sunday. That's true. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, so I didn't realize I'd hit 150,000 unread emails. Maybe I'll get to them next week. It's all just promotional shit. Like, there are just a handful of emails that are so, like, inbox zero is stupid. Oh, Danielle, be not afraid. Very cool, Kyle. Yeah, Mrs. Shannon is she's got some good work going on. This is going to be a cool show. The Grid Show. Grids of Disquiet. The Grids of Disquiet. talented family. Thank you, TK. Yeah, we got some action going on here. We met acting, so it's an arty family. It's a lot of art. It's a lot of art. It's a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos in the Shannon household. We don't have a lot of balance here. A lot of passion. A lot of chaos. Oh, man. Good morning, family. 5:15 a.m. Hey, Rudy. Good morning. Go squeeze yourself an orange. Suck on a lemon. Grind up some, I'm guessing tea, right? Tea, South Africa? Or do you do the coffee? Do you go Americano coffee? Or tea? Just brew that sucker up. Let's get this thing rolling. There's no sleeping in AI. As Rudy evidenced by getting up at 5:15 in the morning to hang out here. Kyle, you are familiar with Explorer.globe.engineer. I am familiar that by the time I found out about it, it had been overrun, and I can't play with it. I'm familiar about that. So, what's his name? I always mix up Rudy's name and his name. Not Rodney. The dude that he came in here one night, and he's got a lot of followers. Whatever his name is. I think someone sent me a video of him talking about it today, and I went and looked at it, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Let's see if they turned it on yet. I doubt it. Explorer. What is it? Globe.engineer. Globe.engineer. No. But what's cool, if you go to that site, if you go to just globe.engineer, there's a bunch of experiments that they've got there. So I don't know if any of them are any cool or are any good, but anyway, what that thing was that a human being is asking about, Explorer.globe.engineer, when they turn it back on, is you do a search for something, and then it would kind of dynamically go find you all the stuff, and then it would show you what looked like web previews of websites that talked about that stuff. So if you said, explain quantum mechanics to me like a 7-year-old, it would build like a course curriculum in a few seconds with screenshots of websites that had, interactive tools or whatever, graphics or something like that. So it looked pretty slick, but I haven't played with it. So, hey, quick question, please. What's the most important AI impact that got you motivated? Great question. I had two. So when I finally got in fall of 2022, I got Stable Diffusion up and running, and then I got this thing called Dream Booth trained on. So Dream Booth within Stable Diffusion, you could upload photographs of yourself or whatever. You could upload photographs and make a model that would do wacky versions of you, in my case. And so I was making a lot of images with Stable Diffusion. And then when I got Dream Booth installed, I was making a lot of images of me, like kind of weird self-portraits. And there was this weird vicarious thing going where I was seeing myself, but in a different reality. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I want to know the story of that version of me. Is it a parallel universe? Was it me that just made different choices? And I was also kind of getting bored of just making lots of images. And so the minute I had that idea of these are all of these versions of me have their own stories. And so I came up with this idea of an art project called Kyle Shannon Dreams. So if you go to Instagram, Kyle Shannon Dreams, or if you go to TikTok, Kyle Shannon Dreams, you can see some of those characters. And I wrote little stories for them. And on TikTok, I recorded those stories so you can hear me acting them. So that the first one was just kind of the idea that with minimal input, you could have you could have an artistic output, for lack of a better term, right? So normally, if you want an artistic output, like if you want to live up to your own taste, you have to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you couldn't just throw together a project like Kyle Shannon Dreams. And so the first epiphany for me was minimal in, maximal out, and that was like that's really interesting. But it didn't completely sort of shatter my reality. The second one was the one that shattered my reality. So ChatGPT came out on November 30th, 2022. And it's funny, I'd been playing with GPT-3 on the OpenAI's playground, and I kind of knew something was coming, and I didn't think it would be any different. And then ChatGPT comes out, and it just felt different. Like, it just felt like it had its shit together a bit more than the back end tools, right? Which makes sense, right? Because it's an application built on. And so the big thing for me was about a week after ChatGPT came out, without ever having written a line of Python in my life, still to this day, I wrote a fully functional Python application that asked a user for a topic and then asked 3 follow-up questions, and then generated 5 pieces of social media with API calls to OpenAI to have it generate that content. And that's when it actually hit me. Oh shit, the world just changed. But no one knows it yet. So those were the 2 for me. So yeah, I'm curious what everyone else has. Like, what was your moment where, whether it was your Kevin McAllister moment, like I had a bunch of moments that I was like, ooh, wow, that's interesting. But those 2 moments, the moment of like, with minimal input, you get maximum output, and then the idea that I can have 0 skills in something and still accomplish it, like still accomplish the task, even if I've got 0 skills. That kind of shook my world, because what that said to me is, this is not just computers being more efficient, right? Like, I guess for me, that Python application, I understood how profound it was. The G in GPT, generative. Like, people just say that, oh yeah, generative pre-trained transfer, yeah, it generates. That's fucking remarkable. It generates. It's not just showing you shit that it had before. It's generating something new. And so when I understood that, I got that we're not going to use computers the way we used to use computers, where you had to think about the logic of how you wanted the computer to behave. Those days are gone. Just most people don't know it yet. The third turning was Frank the hot dog. That's totally true, Brandon. Actually, it's actually not far off, Brandon, because it's like, again, it's that idea of, you can just sort of talk dumb crap into a microphone and it turns it into an animation. Thank you for the wiener source camp. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, those are the biggies, Frank the hot dog. Hey. They said, hey, Frank, what are you doing here? I'm like, you're here for the game. They said, Frank, it's Thursday. There's no game today. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I remember the script because there was no script. Oh my God. I just created an image generator that also adds copyright watermark personalized with name GPT. Oh, that's super cool. Is it doing that accurately? Oh, are you using code interpreter, Corey? You have it generate an image and then you use code interpreter to actually put text on top of it? How are you doing that? That's really interesting. And is it consistent? Because no GPT I've ever created is consistent. It's like I don't know what it is about these tools. It's like 3 out of 4 times they're fucking brilliant, and then the fourth time they're just like, how about if I do something completely unrelated to what you just asked me? It's like, okay, I guess we're going there. Oh man, AI got me motivated. Corey Sandler, very accurate. I can show you. Wow, that's very cool. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that would be super cool, Corey. Let's see. I learned more from the stupid projects I tried than winning ones. Yep. Chat, bring me on if you want. Oh, good. Okay. How do I do that? Plus guests. Now, I don't know. Invitation sent. Hey there.
Hey there. I'm good. How are you all?
Good. I don't know how to flip cameras so you can show, but so what did you do?
So what I did, I was on the a call today with James, one of our other members, and I was showing what I had done where I had put yesterday a banner. After I made an image, I said, okay, create a banner on the image with this text. And I gave it text. And then I said, then put a mask at 50% behind the text. It did that. So it popped the text out. And then I said, now create a thin outline outside of each letter to pop it
Yep.
out more. And
Yep.
it was like, cool. And then decided today, wait a second, we can actually make a
You
watermark
could make a
with,
watermark. Oh, that's so
yep.
cool.
So
That's
now
really
what,
cool.
so now what everybody can do is go to that GPT. It's in the AI salon in the GPT section.
Okay.
And there it's an image creator as well. And I've given you a whole bunch of different image making things from realistic to painterly to graffiti to encaustic to made of ceramic to made of sculpture, all these different kind of
Nice.
ways.
Nice.
Create your image, tell it what you want. Then under each image, so I also have a problem opening up web pages. I can't see them on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
So not only will it then ask you for your first and last name, and that's going to insert that into the copyright symbol 2024.
Nice.
Your name's going to go in there, and the all rights reserved is going to go in there. It's going to fit on the bottom section of the image toward the bottom right. It's going to have that back transparency to it as well. And it's also going to then create at least two images in addition to the image it normally creates. And it's going to be a JPEG that you can have it have the copyright watermark, and another JPEG image that doesn't have the copyright image watermark.
And it downloads both of them, a naked
Down,
one and a copywritten one.
that's right. So it doesn't show you them, but it gives you a link.
Yeah.
So the one that has the copyright, you can decide what size you want. Do you want it 72 DPI? Do you want it 300 DPI?
That's so cool.
For the one that doesn't have the copyright, you can say, do you want it 72p? Do you want it 300 DPI? What size do you want it? Do you want it 14 by 14 inches? Do you want it 3 by 3 inches? So now I can create an actual image that I can use outside of the size that the web page is like, holy. I'm a potter.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, this is so. So for those of you that are new here, first of all, if you don't know Corey Sandler Pottery, you need to go follow her. She's remarkable. She's a remarkable artist, but she's turning into an outright software developer while she's figuring out how to do art with AI and with GPTs. I mean, that's a really sophisticated thing you're doing there, and
Mm,
it really does point to we're and we're so at the front end of this that we're really at this place where you can just sort of say, here's what I would like it to do. And it
yeah.
doesn't take much to have it do that. It's remarkable.
So I also want to absolutely acknowledge the fact that I was on the Zoom call today with James Hohenfanner, which
Okay.
also is James Detroit here.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And the two of us were kind of going over this stuff. Now, I ended up having to spend about, 4 hours or so
Yeah.
creating the GPT and figuring
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Didn't all go seamlessly. And I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
a couple of different iterations to try and simplify it also. And I didn't like the simplified version.
Interesting.
So I wanted every image to have those two options, and I wanted you to be able to choose a size.
That's so cool.
It's like, for me, as an image maker,
Hmm.
for me, it is now life changing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know that sounds a little overinflated, but it's life changing for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So that's just very cool.
That's so
And
cool. Yeah, because
use
you
it.
could create a workflow where you pop it into Photoshop and have the layers in there and do that, but that's a pain in the ass. If you can just generate the image and then go, give me the version with the watermark on it, that's awesome.
Yeah. So now, so the deal is, when you make an image, it is inherently copywritten.
Yeah.
However, we live in a world that it's not.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, is it protection? It's a little bit of a, it just says, hey, I made this. This is when I
Well,
made
I
this.
think it also says, hey, I'm a professional, right? I'm a
Hmm.
professional and you're welcome to mess with me, but do so at your own risk, right?
Yeah.
Your own peril. Really cool.
Yeah. So, like, I have a company right now that I'm sort of talking to about licensing some of my work.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to send them my work without having a copyright notification on it.
Yeah.
And so this is just a really easy way for me to do it at the native stage, as opposed to taking a whole bunch of time, like you say, doing an automation, which is a whole
Yeah.
other thing that I've learned. But yeah, okay, I'll get off now so you can talk about the rest of your day and everything else. But I'm so
No,
excited.
no, I'm going to actually probably talk about this and just show people how to go find what you just talked about.
Oh, I would love it if you did a little view of it, because then people can see.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions about how and what to do.
Okay.
There's a really, what I'll probably do at some point is a live to show that you can do it very complex as the questions it's asking, or
Mhm.
you can just bypass all of that and say, the name that the copyright for is Corey Sandler. I want the JPEG with the notification for whatever, for the watermark, to be a 72 DPI, because I don't care. I'm only going to use it online.
Yeah.
And the other one, the JPEG, because I want a JPEG, I want it at 14 inches landscape.
Yeah.
Figure out the rest of it. And it'll do that. The other
Wow.
thing that I've created, which I think is pretty cool, is I can upload an image and copyright that image.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I think it's a pretty flippin' powerful little GPT.
That's pretty slick. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for
Okay.
sharing it. Let me go show people what it is and how to get to it.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you all. And
Thanks, Corey.
this is the best.
Yeah, that's great. This is really great.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gone away. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Very cool, very cool, very cool, very cool. All right. I want Corey's voice as my AI. I know she has the best voice, doesn't she? Okay, so the her GPT is called Art Shield copyright. So if you just want to get to the GPT, if you're not on the AI Salon, you can go to ChatGPT, go to Explore GPTs, and then look up, what was it? Art Shield Art Shield. Good name, by the way. Copyright. Yeah, there it is. All right. And then we should also rate it. Start the chat. Okay, so if you don't know what a GPT is, so I'm in Chat GPT, and now I'm in this thing called Art Shield Copyright. So this is a customized, personalized version of Chat GPT that Corey made. All right, upload an image and add a copyright. So I just clicked upload an image. To proceed, creating a JPEG. Okay, before I start, wait, to proceed with adding a copyright to your image, I'll first apply it to the original image upload. Okay, so let me upload the image now. Let me go find an image to upload. All right, that's a good one. That was one I did for, I don't know, something or other. All right. First and last name. Let's make it a 10-inch at 300 DPI. That's good. Once you provide these details, I'll proceed. Bang. Now it should flip into it should say, yeah, analyzing. So what this is doing, this is code interpreter. So she's invoking code interpreter. And what code interpreter does is it writes and executes its own Python code. So ChatGPT has access to a bunch of Python libraries. And when it uses code interpreter, it creates what's called a container, like a little mini version of a computer inside your chat session. And it takes these Python libraries it has access to, and it writes it. It's like resizing the original image, watermark text equals copyright 2024 Kyle Shannon, all rights reserved. Font path. So she's using Deja Vu Sans. No Helvetica here. No, she's an artist. She's not just going to put Helvetica in there, people. Come on. It's Corey Sandler we're talking about. She's going to take it to the next level. And it's still doing its thing. It's creating a semi-transparent background for the watermark. So cool. And then it's so it's writing the Python code to create all these elements. It's resizing the image, and then it's going to smash them all together into a single JPEG. Fucking crazy. So cool. So cool, Corey. This application, this really, it errored. It's starting over. Non-watermarked image path. All right, well, it choked on something, that's likely not Corey's fault. That's likely just, if you notice how slow this is going, OpenAI is probably a little buried right now, or they're updating something. But this is a really, for me, this is representative of what's about to happen. So I'm the chapter in the book that I contributed to called AI Futures. My chapter title is The Great Renaissance Approaches. And why I feel that is people are going to have access to skills that they didn't know were even possible. And they're going to do stuff. Oh, we're all using it at the same time. That's true. We're probably slamming the crap out of Corey's thing. Also, you can rate GPTs now. You should go rate her GPT. But it's like, every human being gets to level up. And so it's my belief, like if I look at my career from when I was in high school even, it's all related to self-expression and the sort of intersection of creativity and technology. And with a real passion for self-expression, for people, creating tools for people to powerfully express themselves. And holy shit, are we entering a new era where the level that people are going to be able to express themselves, right? It's like right now, actually, so in the 90s, in 1991, I got tired of, all right, it looks like it did it. I got tired of acting for free, and I thought, I know, I'll write myself an acting career. And so I wrote 7 screenplays in 2 years. Like, you've seen that when I put my mind to something in here, I just fucking do it, right? So I did that there. And it took probably a month and a half to just figure out how to write a screenplay, right? Go to the bookstore, Oh, sorry, books are these things with paper in them. And you'd go to this store that had lots of these binders with paper, and inside all the binders of paper were words. And so I bought like 7 different books on writing screenplays. And in 2 years, I wrote 7 of these things. And then you have to get other people to produce them. And if you knew someone talented and if you had money, then you could maybe do something. But, you needed to raise millions. We're entering an era where I could have that same idea for that screenplay, write the screenplay, visualize the screenplay, write dialogue for the screenplay, create characters for the screenplay, right? We're less than 2 years out from being able to just either take something you wrote in the past or just give it a fucking idea and have it go do stuff for you. So imagine all of the people who in their life know that they aren't going to be able to accomplish dream A, B, or C because they don't have the talent. They gave it up to have kids, whatever it is, right? They don't have the resources to be able to go to school, to learn how to program, to be able to get themselves out of the shitty job they hate. All of a sudden, overnight, human beings are going to have access to capabilities that let them realize all the shit they've ever wanted to do. That sounds amazing to me. All right, here's the image with the watermark, the one without. So let's go to both of them actually. So there's with watermark, without watermark. Look, like even how Corey, you probably can't see it, but it's like fireplace underscore with underscore watermark. Like even how she named them. And I don't know if ChatGPT helped her or not, but like this is a very professionally named file, right? As opposed to my MO of just call everything untitled and save it to the desktop. Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing. So look, so here's our thing. And then look, down here at the bottom. And you probably can't see it, but see how it's a 50%, it's a black box with 50% opacity, so you can see the image underneath it, which means, so it's white text, but if that white text were on top, if this were a white part of the image, you wouldn't be able to see the text. Well, now you can, right? Because it's in this box. It's non-intrusive. That's just brilliant. That's just brilliant. It's brilliant. Like combining code interpreter with image generation. So let me show you something here. I said be specific about the file name. Yeah, I figured. Because you're a pro. Like that's the other thing is people who have been on the planet for a while and understand how to deliver things in a professional way are just killing it with these tools because they just know what to do. It's so cool. It's so cool. But let me go show you something. Okay. So if you are new here and you don't know about the AI Salon, you need to know about the AI Salon. So what's the AI Salon? So see this ragtag group of misfits, miscreants, and ne'er-do-wells heading off into the abyss to figure out what the fuck we're going to do with AI? That's the AI Salon. It's a community for people choosing to be on this AI adventure together. And it's an amazing community. So if you go to that URL, the salon.ai, that's going to take you to here, which is a link tree. And the very top link is the AI Salon community. And that will take you here, which is our little community, our swell little community. And you should read about it. Welcome to the AI Salon. We have a very short, easy to read, ADD friendly, who we are, why we do what we do, how we do it, and what we're looking for, and our values. Everyone should watch her lives on TikTok and see a pro at work. Absolutely, Dr. J. Yeah, you should absolutely follow Corey Sandler Pottery. She goes live, and you never know what you're going to get. It's a mixed bag with her. Some days she's just covered in mud, slinging pots around the studio. Other times, what I saw her today, I was scrolling by today, and what did she have on? She had on some backing track. Was it a Simon and Garfunkel song, or it was from a musical, I think. I don't know. She was just singing. Sometimes she's cooking, and then other times she's like, here's what I'm doing in ChatGPT, and here's the art I'm making, and here's how I make it, and it's awesome. So Corey is the kind of people that are showing up in the salon community in just incredibly powerful ways, like incredibly generous, engaged ways, right? As was the person that she connected with to figure out how to do this thing. So the values, this is who this community is. Curiosity is one of them, right? This isn't a cynical bunch. This is a bunch like, ooh, how do we do that? How do I do that? Wait, what if you could add a watermark to an image that I created and do that right in GPT? And you know what's amazing? Here's what's really amazing. She could do that in ChatGPT on her own and not tell any of us about it. But not only did she figure it out, she put it into GPT and shared it with the world, which goes to our next value of generosity. If you're learning stuff, share it. Share what you're learning. Share how you're doing it. Share why you're doing it. Exploration. Like, there's got to be a better way. Could I add a watermark? People want to license my stuff. I don't feel like creating a whole workflow. Well, yep, now it's done. She's got it. Collaboration. She collaborated to make that thing. Inclusion. People are coming, on the surface, Corey Sandler makes no sense to be in the software development game, right? She's a potter. She's a musician. She's a chef, She's a lover. It doesn't make sense that she's going to be like slinging code. And yet, she's doing some of the most remarkable work with GPTs and with these tools, right? Because she's bringing a different perspective. So it's huge. Empathy is one of the values. Like, why are people so scared? Why are they so angry? I don't know. Find that out. Understand where people are. Understand that people might not be as excited as you are, or you might be the one who's not excited. And wouldn't it be nice to be in a community where someone just doesn't just call you a jerk and go, "Oh, well, you should love AI, you big dum-dum," but they actually say, "Well, wait, what are you afraid about? Hey, can I walk you through how this actually works? Because it might make you feel less scared. Or can I show you something really interesting that's kind of the opposite of what your fear is?" Oh, okay. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to live in a world where we don't just demonize and hate each other? That'd be swell. Empathy's the key to that one. And then gratitude, right? The fact that she acknowledged Frank, was it Frank? For helping her put that thing together, right? So that's kind of who's here and what we're up to. And then the area that she shared that, so there's there's an area called community where you can introduce yourself. I would strongly encourage you to introduce yourself. And there's events. We've got a salon meeting coming up Tuesday night, and Kelly Bosch, who's an amazing artist doing these just crazy ass videos, is going to be on talking about her workflow. You can ask for help. There's a tools and resources section. There's a water cooler section where you can just chat with anyone in the community. There's a news section. And then right below that is show off your work, a whole area where you can show off images, music and audio, video and animation, and then GPTs and apps. And that's where Corey just shared this thing. All right. The other thing that we've got in this community are guilds. There's a creative guild with art and writing and video and all sorts of cool shit. There's a business guild with sort of 101 stuff and applying AI in business. There's a technology guild where you can figure some shit out. There's a social impact guild. And there's even little community clubs. And the first community club in that section is this channel's club called the AI Irregulars. So tonight, if you're creating stuff for the live, like if I say, hey, go make us, like last night, what did we do? Oh, I said, why don't we make a bunch of images called Embrace the Jank? Because everything's so janky. And so people did that. And so there's a whole pile of Embrace the Jank images in here. Actually, below all this art. This art's really cool. But it's our own little, Embrace the Jank. It's our own little private area where we can, have some fun, have inside jokes, get to know one another. So a sub-community within the larger salon, right? Showing up, showing out, staying janky. That is so cool, Corey. Thank you for that. So anyway, you should go join the AI Salon. And please, first thing you should do, introduce yourself. Be generous and tell us who the hell you are. Hang on, I think the dog wants cheese or something. Kyle, seems the anti-jailbreak also works. That's great. I built a bunch for this group called Content Evolution, and for a while the jailbreak just didn't work. We had to rearrange it. It's just, this stuff's so weird because you get your thing dialed in and it works, and then OpenAI changes something and then your shit doesn't work anymore. But it's just embrace the jank, embrace the jank. Let me go let the dog out. Doggy. Doggy. What? Did you want cheese? Are you looking for cheese? Well, that is super cool. Super cool, Corey. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for making that. It's so cool. It's like, just, put in your name here. Out it comes. Absolutely crazy. And it's funny, if you don't know what's going on. Oh, let me show you another thing. Okay. Below, introduce yourself. So you're going to introduce yourself, right? If you're in here, you're going to join the salon, you're going to introduce yourself, right? Right?
You can make money with ChatGPT!
You can't make money with ChatGPT if no one knows who you are, all right? Seriously. That's going to be the new way of succeeding in the future, is being in community, because no one's going to hire you for your skills, because everyone's going to have those skills. And I know it doesn't seem like that right now, but mark my word. Okay, so they're going to hire you because they know you and trust you and like you. I think this is a reckoning for assholes, which I'm excited about. Okay, so introduce yourself. And then AI tools and resources. If you go to AI tools and resources, there's a list here that I think maybe on average 2 times a night, I talk about this list. I talk about, this is a list that I maintain. I haven't updated it in a bit. But the very first tool on the list right now is ChatGPT. And it seems innocent enough. There's a couple of bullet points here for the free version of it. And then there's some bullet points down here for the paid version of it, right? And one of these bullet points is code interpreter. And it says code interpreter, advanced data analysis. Uses Python to analyze data, generate graphs, and generate new documents. That doesn't seem like something that would be relevant to making an image. But that's the tool that Corey's using to generate that watermark. And even though, she had, this collaborative conversation, maybe with someone that said, here's how you use that, or here's how you might use that to do your thing. She had a problem she wanted to solve. And knowing that ChatGPT could do things like generate documents, that it could do things like, create objects and analyze files, then she can combine that with DALL-E 3 and create the GPT she just created. So that's like her GPT's using 2 of the 7 or 8 bullet points of what GPT-4 makes possible. So when I talk about you should be playing with these tools, playing with, like, if you haven't played with all of the bullet points in this list, you should go do it. And if you're an artist, if you're a ceramicist, you may look at something like advanced data analysis and just put it out of hand, right? Like, oh, well, that's not for me. I'm an artist. I'm going to make images here. But she was willing to go beyond that. And because of that, she created this amazingly powerful tool. We've all got that opportunity, but you have to know what's possible, right? And the only way to know what's possible is to play with it, because there's no manuals. It's changing all the time. And I guarantee you, if someone writes a book, which they will, just on code interpreter, most of what this is going to be about is data analysis. You take a CSV file and you put it in here and you find the trends in the data and you clean up the data and you do this with the data and you do blah, 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 blah. And then maybe somewhere in the last half of some chapter, oh, and by the way, you can do stuff with image analysis. This use case that she came up with is completely novel and interesting, and a data analyst probably would never even get anywhere near that solution, because it's not a problem they're solving. It's a problem an artist would solve, right? But it happens to be an artist that's willing to look beyond the pretty pictures, which is just fucking amazing. Although I do kind of say that Corey has a bit of an advantage because she understands things like glazing temperatures and all of the science of making glazes. There's a lot of science in what she does. So I have a feeling Ms. Sandler is a wee tad geekier than she lets on the surface. She got some things cooking upstairs. So anyway. I don't know what the box looks like, so I think outside. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're just trying to solve a problem, right? You're just trying to solve the problem. You're trying to solve the problem, and you're willing to not know what you're doing enough to create some space to learn what's possible. And then you make amazing shit. So cool. Very, very cool. There's a little masterclass for you. If you want a masterclass in how do you do this AI shit, that was it. We just went through it. The last 25, 30 minutes of her coming on here, talking about what she did, me showing it, going to the salon, sharing it, connecting with community, building something, sharing that with community. That's it. That's the masterclass. Play with these tools. Solve problems. Sure would be nice if I could watermark these images without it being a pain in my ass. And share what you did. Masterclass. Those 3 things. In fact, I'm gonna change I think I might change the name of AI tools and resources to like, what do I do first? Or okay, Brandon, I just saw your thing. You can't pin anything when someone's up there. Okay, cool. Um, I want these three things are just feeling increasingly important to me. I did a TikTok video on it. I think I'm going to add it to my tool list. That I think I'm going to turn the tool list from a tool list to like a primer on how to get AI literate. Maybe that's it. Getting AI literate. And the first thing is play. Second thing is solve. Third thing is share. Yeah, that's what you should do. That's it. And you're like, but I don't even know what a GPT is. How do I do it? It doesn't matter. Just start anywhere. Start anywhere. And what you'll do is you'll stumble onto something that really lights your fire. Like one of the women in the community, I've never really talked to her, but she's been in some of these, and she's a really active member of the salon. And she was doing images for a while, and then she discovered Suno, the songwriting thing, and she's just lost her marbles. And like she's just writing songs after songs after songs. She wrote and published a musical using Suno. And so by playing, you'll stumble upon something. AI 10 oh AI 101. There's a course. There's a sub guild called Pete's AI 101. So I don't want to confuse it with that. But there's something there. But it's just like how do you learn how to learn, or how are you so oh maybe this is it. How are you supposed to learn when there are no experts and the tools keep changing? Right? So even if you meet someone today that's absolutely 100% an expert today on how you prompt DALL-E images and how you build GPTs to create copyright overlays, 4 months from now when ChatGPT goes to version 5 and GPTs turn into autonomous agents that have faces and voices and can take action very easily with other software, whatever skills you had to do these GPTs is going to be completely useless. So how do you learn in that environment? Well, you just play. You don't take it seriously. You build shit. You let it be janky. You let it break. You let yourself be amazed when it's perfect, and you don't give up when it's not. Right? You live in that middle ground of just, I don't know, let me try this. That seemed to work. Hey, everybody, look, I'm an expert. Oh, shit, it doesn't work anymore. Hey, everybody, I'm not an expert anymore. Anyone figured this out? No? All right. Embrace the jank. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to that tool list. I'm gonna shift that. Change that up. Play, solve, share. Play, solve, share. Play, solve, share. Or just play, share. Solve, 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 share. Thank you, Sherry D. Appreciate it. All right. What else are we going to do now? That was cool, wasn't it? Dang it. This community's so bitchin'. It really is. It's bitchin' cool. I just, I don't know. I just love that. I find that really inspiring. It's also cool to be around people that take things to a level of completion. Sherry D that just gave me some gifts. There's Lord Digital Gods. Sherry D that just gave me some gifts. She was figuring out image generation and then some video stuff. And then one of her high school buddies said, hey, I've got a music band. You're doing this AI? You want to make a video? And rather than giving into the, I don't know what I'm doing, she was like, sure. Hey, Siri, go away.
Okay.
she hasn't interrupted us in a while, has she? Kyle, do you know what is ChatGPT for developers? Yes. So hang on, let me just talk about Shady for a second. But she took the job and she made a really good video, and in making the really good video, she discovered that she really likes making videos like that. And it's like a whole new path for her. It's good to be engaged with people that are on the field. It's, you know what, it's almost like, actually, because I used this metaphor last night, is that AI right now is like being in a football stadium where there's like 40 people on the field and 60,000 people in the stands watching. Or, well, most of the people in the stands aren't even watching because there's no game. Just the field is just littered with teeny little pieces of paper, and we're all just trying to pick up the pieces of paper and see what's on them and piece together the little pieces and see if we can build a story out of that somehow. And we don't even know what the game is. Like, football hasn't even been invented yet. It's like OpenAI and all these AI companies right now, they're building football stadiums and they're letting us onto the field. And most people are like showing up at the game like, oh, give me a beer. I'll be up in the stands. You want to come down on the field? Oh, no, that looks awful. There's a bunch of paper down there. Nah, I'm good. Just be up here drinking. We don't even know what the game is yet. And this group, the AI Salon, are on the field. And it's really amazing to be in the presence of that. Like the amount of opportunity, I don't think you all get it. Or maybe you do. Well, I mean, certainly those of you that come here a lot get it, right? Because it's all I talk about. But if you're just starting to scratch the surface of AI, the amount of, oh, very nice, Lord Digital Gods, the amount of opportunity that all of us get to participate in the next 2 or 3 years, if we get educated now, is insanity. It's insanity. Yeah, Sharon Mendenhall is the Suno Queen. Yeah, exactly. That's right. I always played with AI. What was the question you asked, Kieran? Something about I never stayed on the sidelines because it's not going away. That's exactly right. Trial and error and compare. That's it. Trial and error, kind of like fixing something without the manual. Yeah, this is tinkering, right? Embrace the janky. Kyle, oh, do you know what is ChatGPT for developers? Yeah, so if you go to platform.openai.com/playground, that is the interface that developers use to access the different models that OpenAI has available, including there's 3 or 4 different flavors of GPT-4. There's a bunch of flavors of GPT 3.5. All of those models have different sort of sliders and knobs that you can do different things with. They all have different costs. So if you're doing super high volume stuff that doesn't require GPT-4 level stuff, it can be really, really, really cheap. If you're doing novel creation that has to use ChatGPT-4, that's going to be expensive, especially if you put it out in the world and people start using it. So platform.openai.com/playground is where the developers dig into the back end. And if you're doing something like Zapier automations where you're calling the OpenAI API, that playground is where you'll do your prompt development. So you go into that back end, you get your prompt written and the system message written, you get it all dialed in, get it functioning correctly, and basically you take that prompt over to Zapier, and that's what goes into Zapier, and you know it'll work. So that's how you do that. That's why it's there. All right, fantastic. Siri is always so sweet. She's sweet, but she's a little jealous. She's a little jealous. She's like, "You're not talking about Sydney, are you?" She discovered her talent. It's going to be interesting to see if Apple just makes Siri not suck, or if they retire her and replace her with something. That's going to be really interesting. I am personally a fan of flush her down the toilet. Can we ask about Feather? You can ask about it. I don't know anything about it other than if you go to feather.openai.com. Thank you, Share Bear. If you go to feather.openai.com, there's a site there. Some folks on Twitter were saying that there's a new thing coming called Feather. Other folks are like, that site's been there for a while and it's no news. It's just a holding. Like, at some point there'll probably be something called Feather, or they wouldn't have a site there. But we don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is, so we can talk about it. Well, I can't talk about it. If anyone knows anything about it more than that, that's all I know. Pate, I'm here. They can't get rid of me now. Hey, Pate, I've been talking really good about Gemini Pro 1.5, but I don't have access to it, so I can't talk about it like I've used it because I haven't used it. But holy shit, Ethan Mollick's talking about that thing like it has changed things. Like he's in it. All he talked about was ChatGPT. He was like me. All he talked about was ChatGPT for a while. Can we use Luna's GPT? Oh, Lunastick's GPT and talk to Hamilton? Yeah, we can do that. I gotta be careful with politics stuff just because I might get perma banned from the talk, but whatever. So what I'm going to show you now is a GPT created by Daisy Thomas, Lunastick, who's also a Salon member. It's a good idea, Cabruno. That she talked about. So Anne Murphy does these things called weekend GPT jams. So from noon to 2 on Saturday, you can hang out with a bunch of people that are like up to building shit with ChatGPT, or just up to building shit in general, or actually just up to kind of hanging out together and geeking out on this stuff. And so Daisy spoke this past Saturday about this particular GPT. She's made 105 GPTs, but this one she had a pretty profound interaction with. So it's AIL, like Alexander Hamilton, but with an AI at the beginning, like AI Alexander Hamilton. And what she did, new chat, what she did was she went and she got as many writings of his, or maybe all of them. I don't know. I don't know what she did. But she went and she got writings of his, writings about him, articles, things like that. And she trained this GPT to allow you to interact with one of our founding fathers. And she built this because she was very active in politics and got kind of burned out and really disillusioned, and had kind of lost hope on the future of our democracy, considering all the stuff going on. And so she created this thing and had a pretty profound, in-depth conversation with Alexander Hamilton talking about our country. So let's see. So we live, let's see. We live in an incredibly divided and divisive political reality right now. And while it might not be as intense as Civil War days, the advent of the advent of instant electronic communications and social media is amplifying the divide. I feel hopeless about the future and fear for our democracy. What do you think? Your concerns are deeply understandable and indeed present a political climate that can often feel unprecedentedly polarized. However, if we turn the pages of history to the era of Alexander Hamilton, we can find that the political divisiveness is not a novel phenomenon, but rather a recurring challenge that democracies have faced and navigated through various means. What can be gleaned from this historical perspective is that political division, while challenging, is not insurmountable. Today, the speed and reach of electronic communications. So I'm going to say, I want you to act as Mr. Hamilton and tell me in the style of the Hamilton musical why I shouldn't feel hopeless. Uh-oh. My keyboard just died. Hopeless. Oh, Earth Rocker. I introduced my mom who has dementia to Pi this past week. They had an amazing conversation. That is really fucking cool, Earth Rocker. I lost my dad to Alzheimer's, so yeah, the minute I started interacting with Pi, it was the first thing that came to my mind is that use case. That's amazing. That's really, really cool. Certainly, channeling the spirit and style of the Hamilton musical, let's embark on a lyrical journey. I'm not throwing away my shot. No, I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Yeah, it didn't channel the spirit of it. Just sort of rewrote that thing. In a world that's split, where debates ignite, where the news at dawn brings dread by night, remember our democracy's a hard-won fight, and hope's the torch we carry ever so bright. Huh. That's very cool. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't played with if you haven't played with a GPT, you should go play with them. So how you do it is you have to have GPT-4, so ChatGPT Plus, and then you click on Explore GPTs, and you can just sort of scroll down through here, but you can also search for them. The other thing that you can do is if you go to the AI Salon and go to just up to the very top, go to the feed, you can search all of the AI Salon, and you can look for hashtag GPTs, and it will find all the GPTs that have been uploaded. And there are hundreds of them in here. So, and what's cool, and actually, since Daisy made so many of them, you can find a bunch of hers in there. One of the really powerful things about the AI Salon is people are encouraged to use their real names and get to know one another, right? That let's make this a community where we actually connect with other human beings. So unlike this just being an anonymous list of GPTs, you can get that at OpenAI at ChatGPT. This is a list of GPTs made by people in this community. So if you find something that's particularly inspiring or you don't know quite how they did it, you can connect with the person that made it and say, hey, can we talk? Yeah. Like just being a member of this community gives you access to that kind of connection, which is really rare. It really is. Like even AI communities are often a bit more stingy than what's going on here. Let's go see if there's any cool AI regulars action going on. Champy getting some cheese. That okay, first of all, Champy would be very offended by that. But what I can tell you is that is absolutely his attitude. Feed me cheese. That's really good, Silver Fox. Do 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 do. All right. What else anyone got going on? Any thoughts? Thoughts on what I've been waxing on about? This is so cool. Yeah, the having your mom talk to Pi is really, really amazing. Tell her same effect back in the day. Yeah, I mean, listen, the salon is no different than, it's no, if you have a strong online community, you have a strong online community. I mean, the community organization tool is kind of irrelevant, right? It's all about who's showing up and how they're showing up. And then it's really up to us as a community to make sure that we maintain that as we grow. What are people using to write books? I'm using ChatGPT 4 for all my writing. It depends on the kind of book you want to write. If you want creative stuff, then definitely ChatGPT 4. If you need stuff to be a bit more researched, I would use a combination of GPT 4 and Perplexity, because Perplexity is good at that, or Google Gemini because it's connected to the internet and it does citations pretty well. But I think just in terms of quality of writing, ChatGPT 4 is still the best. But even ChatGPT 4, it tends to it just adds flourishes that are just cliche and shitty. So you just have to assume with any of these tools that what you're going to get when you write with it is 80% of what you need at best. And the last mile is up to you. And also don't set the expectation for yourself that it's just going to be able to, you're just going to be able to put it in and it's going to generate a book that's usable. It's going to be much more back and forth. Because for one thing, the context window on these tools is really small relatively, where you'll be talking with ChatGPT and then it just seems to forget what the hell you were talking about. That's because it forgot what the hell you were talking about. So you know how when text scrolls up on your phone screen and then when it gets to the top, it sort of goes screen? That's literally what's happening in ChatGPT. You're having a conversation, things are going fine, they're going fine, they're going fine, they're going fine, and then all of a sudden the beginning part of the conversation goes out of its memory. That's called the context window. And when it goes out of its memory, like it has no way of knowing what the hell you're talking about when you're like, well, go back to the outline that I uploaded. It won't know, right? Now, one of the reasons Ethan Mullick is so excited about Gemini Pro 1.5 with a million token context window, which is about 750,000 words, is that it's got an incredibly long memory. So you can he uploaded 7 or 8 research papers and just it knew them all, and it recalled, it was making connections between them, it was citing them with very little hallucination. Can we play academics and do a search on Perplexity, pretend we're climate scientists? Can we play academics and do a search? Yeah, I'm reticent only because I am so the antithesis of an academic. And I also don't know Perplexity, but this is probably a good way to play, isn't it? All right. So Kavruno wants us to go, we're gonna go search for some sciencey shit. So we're gonna go to a tool called perplexity.ai. Perplexity. And if you haven't used Perplexity, it's really cool. I have the pro version of Perplexity because I bought the Rabbit R1 and I was one of the first 100,000 people to do it. And so I have Perplexity Pro, but it is a waste of $200 because I don't fucking use it. Okay, so this is just like ChatGPT, where it's kind of a cross between a search engine and a large language model. And then you can do things like focus it. So if I click the focus tab, it gives me academic papers, writing, Wolfram Alpha, YouTube, and Reddit. So you can search different locations. So if we're going to act like academics, let's go to academics. And then it's also got this Copilot, this is a really cool feature. So what happens is we're going to do a search, and then Copilot's going to say, might you want to also search for this? It's going to give us follow-on recommendations. Okay, so we're going to say, I'm going to record this or dictate this since it's easier. I am a first-year PhD student working on climate change. And want to explore how to use AI to draw conclusions across disparate areas of climate research. Period. Help me identify research that might support these efforts. What specific areas of climate research are you interested in? I'm just a PhD student. I'm not supposed to know what the hell I'm doing with my life yet. Atmospheric science, glaciology, oceanography, and ecology. I'm going to go oceanography. Although atmospheric science, boy, these are rough, man. Because they're all so tied together. Let's go oceanography, because the great conveyor belt scares the shit out of me. Like, if that thing stops, we're fucked. But by the way, notice what it did there. It gave us a choice of 4 types of climate change. That's Copilot. And then Copilot, understanding the question, sources. There's 22 sources. So here are the sources that it found. And then answer, AI in oceanography and climate change research. Given your interest in oceanography as part of climate change, predictive modeling and climate change, trustworthy AI in environmental science, environmental impact assessment, climate integration. Oh, it's still going. AI in the prediction of climate change impacts. The other thing you'll notice, they're really hard to see, but at the end of each one of these answers is one of the sources that it cited before. In this case, there's 3 of them, right? So 3, 7, and 18. And if I click on one of those, it takes me to the paper. That's pretty slick. Search images, search videos. In summary, AI and ML are providing powerful tools in climate research. So I'm going to say, ask a follow-up. So I'm going to say, I'd like to find research in political science that can be a bridge from climate science to action. Search that. Step 1, understanding the question. Step 2, searching the databases. And then it's answering. Yeah, this is pretty slick. So Perplexity, if you want to do shit where you're not just living in the creative writing realm, this is absolutely a tool you should be playing with. It's not the speediest thing. I'll show you a really speedy one. We'll look at the speed of this one. But although, if you're looking for work that is less hallucinatory than what a lot of these large language models are, a tool like this is important, right? Because you can do your own cross-referencing. So now one of the things it's got here, search images, search videos, generate image. Let me search videos. The great debate. The science activist. Should science get political? When science meets politics, the case of climate change. Watch.
Politics and the science and get the action that we need without wanting to put it too dramatically in time.
And what's exciting about this is where we are right now is it can find the videos, which that's actually pretty exciting, right? So you're doing research. Here's some videos. You can go watch the videos. Where this likely goes, and I think that Gemini is going to be brilliant at this when they get it together, is I don't want to just find a 45-minute video. When it's talking about universalism and international scientific cooperation, and they're talking about the Council of Science Unions declarations against nationalism for peace, cooperation, whatever this is, I want it to jump me to the part of the conference where the head of that organization is speaking about that particular topic, right? So it's not just I want to find the video, it's I want to find the soundbite in the video that supports that particular thing. Because then it's a very short step from there to edit me together a news piece with all the links, with all the attribution, right? You could build an incredibly powerful persuasive argument generator with sound bites. Pretty slick, huh? So that's Perplexity. And then if you want to see one doesn't do anything slickly from an accuracy point of view, but if you go to grok.com, so you saw how long that thing took to answer. Grok, this is not the same Grok as Elon Musk's Grok. His is GROK, this is GROQ. And grok.com, they are a chip manufacturer. And so they have created some AI chips that are specifically for large language models. So these aren't going to help with image generation or video generation. These are going to help with things like, ChatGPT or the open source large language models. But if I type something in here, how can we combine climate science research with political discourse research? And this may hang a little bit if there's a lot of people using it. So ignore the part where it's not answering, but just watch what happens the minute it starts answering. So it's got 1,800 requests ahead of us. Boom, done. Like, this is just ripping fast. 524 tokens per second. So that's about 370, 60 or 70 words per second. And the reason I show this is think of the tools that we're using today. If you're old enough to remember modems, remember when you had a 14.4 modem and you upgraded to a 56K modem? And it was like you could no longer read the stuff as it typed across your screen as it was coming in from the other side of the world. It was just like, that's kind of where we are with this stuff right now, where the tools that we're using right now are the slowest they're ever going to be, right? These things are going to get instant. It's just going to be instant knowledge, instant response, instant, right? How many tabs do you have open, Mr. Kyle? I have a lot. Actually, I don't have that many. Maybe 35. I'm a tab hoarder. Leave me alone. Listen, when you got the thing about ADD is it's kind of like, you're kind of like, those chameleons where their eyes do this, except it's like you've got 40 eyes. So you're just like, okay, I need that thing that I was thinking about before. You're like, oh, that's somewhere over there. Like, so your eyes like over here. And then you're like, it was an orange tab. And then you just go click on it. Because you can't fucking remember anything. So all you can do is just sort of have some sort of peripheral reminder technology. So tabs are actually really good for that. And I now have a combination of side tabs and tabs. And the side tabs are great. I got rid of Microsoft Edge, though. That thing was a piece of shit. It was just, on a Mac, it's just unusable. And not the software itself, the interface itself was fine, but it was the memory management of it was just like, has anyone at Microsoft actually used that product? Like, I know they wrote it, I know they released it, and they put it in ads. Anyone there actually using it? because it just hoses your Mac like 3 times a day. And sure, it might be because I have 50 tabs open, but you know what? There's people in this world that have 50 tabs open. Most of the people on this channel are like that, by the way. So Microsoft, if you want to test your software, here's a little focus group for you. We're neurospicy. Hey, where did I put that tab? Hang on a sec there. Hang on, I'll get right with you. Yeah, let me answer your question here in a second. It's just one of these tabs. Oh wait, I got a different page of tabs here. Hang on. That's us. We don't tab shame in the AI Learning Lab. Exactly, Rudy. Yeah, Rudy. There's no tab shaming here. There's no sleeping in AI, and we don't shame people for their tab quantity. 1200 baud modems. Dial-up was rad. Dial-up was so... I had... My buddy Scott had a 300 baud modem, then a 1200, then a 2400. Then I think it went to 72 something, and then 14.4. And then it just went... And it went 56K, and then I think at that point, people started getting internet. Like hardwired internet. The advent of multiple tabs was the worst thing for my ADHD. I know. Tell me about it. I know that tab's here somewhere. Oh, you know what's the fucking worst? If you're a tab hoarder, this should have, it should fucking blink. This just happened to me today. If you've got a YouTube channel open or something where you've got a video open and all of a sudden the video just starts playing and you don't know which tab it was, and like you're on a call and there's just some video playing, you're like, ha! You're trying to find the tab and it's just like a little speaker icon you're trying to find. It needs to be like a beacon. I'm here. Remember when Tab was diet soda? I do. My grandmother and grandfather drank Tab. I remember being a kid and just like, Tab, that looks really good. And I opened up a can and I tasted it. I was like, that shit tasted like gasoline. That was so bad. Oh, can you imagine ChatGPT on dial-up? Wow. Stop it, it just happened to me. I know. It's the worst. It was like 15 minutes before I came on. Like no one was around. I wasn't doing anything, but a fucking tab just fired up and started playing. And I was like, no. And somewhere I saw it. It definitely. I think it was in my menu. Maybe my Windows menu. It definitely said it's that window that's playing the sound. And I'm just like looking across all my tabs. And you know, because ADD, you look across a third of them here, and then you jump all the way to the right and go backwards, and then it was somewhere in the middle. It's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, I've had that happen a lot lately. There's something. Someone is up to some sneaky shit. I don't know if it's YouTube or I don't know if it's the browser people, but it's like, hey, this video hasn't been playing for a while, but you still got it open, so apparently you'd like to listen to it now. It's like, what? I didn't do anything. There's a Chrome extension to show where the audio is coming from. Actually, yeah, I should probably go get that. Over here. See, that's what Siri should do. The audio starts speaking and Siri goes, hey, would you like me to shut that shit off? Absolutely. Thanks, Siri. Of course. Then we'd like her. I don't mind interruptions if it's, something. Tab was 1000% saccharine. It was so gross. Even if you got it really cold, it was gross. It was just, ugh. But when you have so many tabs open, you only see one letter. The video would end first. Yeah, exactly. I don't even see a letter. I just see the icon. I have so many open, I just see icons. But I now there's a plugin for Chrome called vertical tabs. And that's why I liked Edge, because Edge had vertical tabs built into it and you could group them, but its memory sucked. So I got a vertical tab thing for Chrome, and then I can see the whole word. And so I can either go visually from my tabs across the top, or I can go words up and down the side. Gemini in Chrome can help you tab hoard. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't played with Gemini inside Chrome. I haven't really played with it that much. And maybe that's because I've got so one of the issues with Chrome, well, not Chrome. One of the issues with Google is that they are all kinds of fucked up confused about all their different products. So they've got this thing called work group, which is you pay as a business to have a group of accounts that can share documents and shit like that. And how they manage Gemini within that is completely different than how they handle it for individual accounts. And so they call it different names. It's just all over the place. And so, yeah, I don't ever know which of my accounts has access to which of the features. So I tend to just ignore it until something comes along. Like Gemini 1.5 Pro or Pro 1.5, that I'll figure out how to use, because that seems markedly better than some other shit on the market right now. So anyway, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. 25,000 likes. All you tappers are tapping away. You're going nuts. It's fantastic. All right, let me get on out of here. It's Sunday night. Let me wind this up. So how many folks we got in here? We got a pile of people in here. So if you haven't checked out the AI Salon, go check out the AI Salon. That is, you can find that there. The salon.ai, go there. That's a link tree. Click on the first link, which is the AI Salon community, it says. 30-minute goodbyes. Hey, Danielle, was shaking. And read the About the Salon section and read about our values. And if you dig it, sign up, hang out, use your real name, introduce yourself. If you like this channel, follow me. And you can subscribe to the lives, which helps. You can buy the video series that's in one of those corners. That is, I think it's a good series. It's called Underhyped. If you're brand new to this AI stuff and you're trying to figure out why is this such a big deal? It is. And that series talks about why and gives you pointers on how to not feel so overwhelmed and how to apply it and how to do cool shit with it and how it works and why I think it's a big deal. So that's there. That's a support to the channel. And the other thing you can do is just keep showing up to these things. So the irregulars, the people in did you notice as you were sort of watching comments go that it seems like there's people in here that like know what's going on and like are helping one another and answering your questions and things like that? Those are the irregulars. They show up here regularly, hence the name. But doesn't that mean the opposite of that? That's not important right now. What's important is they show up. So a way that you can support yourself and you can support this channel is just keep showing up and just get curious about this AI stuff. And if you were here when Corey Sandler was sharing this cool GPT she just made to add watermarks to images you just created, holy shit, that was cool. That's the kind of stuff that, like, what you learn at the AI Learning Lab is not any skills. It's more like just how to be open to all of the overwhelming shit that's coming at you and do it in the presence of people who are also doing that And together we kind of model together an understanding of what's happening. That's what this channel's really about. So do that. So thanks to the irregulars. Thanks to anyone who subscribes. Thank you especially to the mods who sort through all these comments and elevate the ones to the top that are interesting to talk about. Great as usual. Thanks, mods. Thanks, Kyle. Thank you, Joy Purdy. Thank you. And then the last thing I like to do when I do my little goodbyes here is I like to say goodbye to whoever showed up. So it's kind of like Romper Room if you're old. You'll know what that was. Magic Mirror. I should get a magic mirror. I bet they sell one on Amazon. Can you play Frank? Sure, we can play Frank before we go. Hang on. We've had a request. So the other thing the AI Learning Lab has become is like a radio call-in show. Hey, Kyle, do that thing. Hang on. We'll do Frank. Let's see. Where do I find him? Oh, I find him on LinkedIn. Believe it or not, well, if you know me, you believe it. I put this on LinkedIn. I'm such an idiot. I'm CEO of an 11-and-a-half-year-old company that serves the pharma industry. And this is one of the things I put up. Wait, you're going to like it. Oh. It's coming. Come on, Frank. Where are you, buddy? This was done in Adobe Express. Is that right? They have an audio to animation tool, and this is
do it.
This is the video I made.
It's like,
all right, here we go. You ready? 3 days with no box story. Oh, I said I was going to do the box story tonight, and I didn't do it. Oh, well, you'll have to come back tomorrow. This is like 1001 Arabian Nights. All right. So this is the last little gift that I'll give you before we sign off tonight, and I do Magic Mirror.
so I come down to the field to play the game, and they're like, "Hey, Frank, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm here for the game." They're like, "Frank, it's Thursday. There's no game today." I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me. There's no game today. I'm ready for the game." They're like, Frank, you look fucking delicious." I'm like, hey, back up. Hey, whoa, fella. Get your hands off my bun. Oh, my goodness. So I leave. I go down to the Piggly Wiggly there. I get myself a soda. I come back. They're like, Frank, we got an issue. It's like, what's that? It's like, Tommy's here. Oh, okay. What do you mean Tommy's here? Yeah, Tommy's here. What's going on with Tommy? Tommy's hungry. Oh, no. Hey, Frank, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. You know, Tommy doesn't stop at fucking eating. Oh, Tommy, no. Oh, God.
That's it. That's on my professional profile. Sir, I'd like to inquire, what are your qualifications for? We're considering you for a czar of artificial intelligence for the megacorp, and I was wondering if you could tell me what your qualifications are. Well, let me show you Frank. Kyle, listen, we were about to hire Storyvine, but it's come to our attention that you fancy yourself an animator. Oh, good Lord. All right, everybody, let's do some Magic Mirror. Joy Purdy, good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. Forever Hooked, Clint Copperhead, as always, thank you so much for what you do. Jane Doe, Danielle, Kalu Salam, you made that with AI. I made that with, the Frank thing was if you go to Adobe Express, is that right? I think that's right. It's like their sort of publishing tool, their Canva tool, and you search for animate from audio, and this tool comes up, and you select a character and a background, and then you just record audio, and it does all the animation. And so that was just a stupid riff that I did here one night, and it came up pretty good. So we like Frank. So yes, I made it with AI, but I made it with my own little voice. And I took my acting skills from my useless acting degree and I applied them to Frank. We can get to 30,000. We're past 30,000. Thank you, Tobias. Good to see you, Otto. I would seriously watch a Frank TikTok series. That was one of the things that hit me when I did Frank, because I also did a pencil that was really dull. He was really dull, and he talked like this. It hit me that you could absolutely be spinning up entertainments pretty quickly, and you could probably automate the shit out of it. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Corey. Thanks to regulars. Thank you, Mr. IT. Appreciate it. Source Camp, good to see you. Laughing Thunder, good to see you. Joker, g'day. G'day, mate. Winston, good to see you. Sherry D, thank you for everything. Brandon, great to see you. Thank you as always. Rustic Farm Wife, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. That cartoon never gets old. Steve-O, we got an Aussie in here. Got South Africa in the house. We got Australia in the house. All right. So I'm out of here. It's Sunday night, TGIM. Tomorrow's Monday. Just start playing. Play, solve, share. That's all you need to know right now. But I'm behind. We're all behind. But I'm not very technical. Doesn't fucking matter. Play, solve, like figure out something to do. Like, hey, it'd sure be nice if I could put a watermark on this image. Wonder how I'd do that with AI. Share. Hey guys, I made this GPT. It does that shit for you. Night, Source Camp. Peace out. Peace, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you.